Well, no, okay, hold on.
Oh,
because I can't
here
believe
we
I'm
go.
sharing this story.
Here we go. Yeah, I mean, comedians, we're all pathetic. We are so pathetic. After chatting to you now, though, I've got like a bit of a hunger for a bit of shopping.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Welcome back to The Joy of Shopping. I am your host, Farah Sattaur, and we have who Rolling Stones has branded as the rock and roll star of British comedy. Rachel Fairburn, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Did you like that?
I did like that.
I was hyping myself up for that intro because I thought Rolling Stones, yeah.
I know. Well,
how do you feel about that?
Well, it's quite embarrassing, to be honest with you. So
What?
when that was said about me, because I'm such a, generally before I do a gig, I'm quite a nervous person, and quite on edge, and quite sort of paranoid before I go on stage. I'm like, and I'm backstage going, oh God, I hope this is going to be all right. I'm like, oh yeah, the rock and roll star of British comedy, here she is, simpering away in the corner.
No one would ever have thought, but I guess that's a natural feeling before you go on stage.
Oh yeah, I mean, comedians, we're all pathetic. We are so pathetic. Some of my best friends are comedians, but I will say now, there is, to collaborate with somebody, and yeah, Kiri and I do the podcast together,
Right.
that is a successful collaboration, but when it comes to writing my stand-up, I cannot have anybody.
No, outsiders.
Oh, no thank you. There is nothing worse when, and it's usually, when I started out, you'd have so many older male comedians say to you, that bit was actually really good, but what you should say is this. I'm like, dude,
and then you
don't
start second guessing your own material, right?
Yeah, so a lot, the joy of stand-up is, and it's the worst, it's the best bit and the worst bit, is you are responsible for yourself, whatever you've written it there. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of comedians that do have writers, which I don't understand why you would do that, because you sort of...
Really?
Yeah.
Am I naive to this?
Yeah.
Comedians have writers?
There's a lot that do have writers. So you're going on stage and you're saying stuff that isn't necessarily you.
True to you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very much happy to collaborate when it's like podcasts or, maybe a sketch or something like that. But when it comes to my own stand-up, no. I won't even take advice.
I'm just like thinking that you and your comedian friends in one room, is this a competition?
Look, it is the worst scenario.
Yeah.
There'll be certain scenarios you're in, like backstage at a comedy club, depending on who's on. Don't get me wrong, there's some great comedians who, are just really nice people and you have a good laugh. But sometimes there'll be, someone will be, you can tell like sometimes when someone's trying material out on you.
Right.
So, oh God.
Testing it out.
Never guess what happened to me the other day. And you're like, don't do this to me. It's the worst. It makes me cringe so much.
God.
Or they'll go, someone will say something funny and then they'll have to make a funnier joke, and it can be so exhausting. And this will sound really terrible, but it's often the comedians who seem to be quite dead inside that will try to be the funniest or like try and compete with everybody. It is, you would think, oh, it's great being in a green room with comedians. No, it's tiring. In fact, I get to gigs now, if I look at a lineup and see who I'm on with, if I'm there early, it's because I like the people that I'm working with. But if I get there 10 minutes before I go on stage, it's because I don't want to speak to anybody in that green room. Yes. In and out. It's like any other workplace, really. There's like really great people that you can have a really good time with. Like you'll go to do a weekend in a comedy club, and sometimes, you're staying over for 3 days, like you're in Birmingham or Cardiff. I mean, it sounds very glamorous, doesn't it? But it depends. You can be with people that you can have such a great laugh with. Yeah. Or there'll be people that you're just like, well, I'm heading back to the hotel now. Have a good night. You just don't. Yeah, it's tiring.
I can imagine. So you couldn't date a comedian?
I have done.
Have you?
And I never would ever again.
Do you know what? I've dated a comedian.
Have you?
Well, no, okay, hold on.
Oh,
because I can't believe I'm sharing this story.
Here we go.
It was a couple of dates.
Okay.
I didn't fancy him.
Well, yeah.
But I was a fan. So I thought, yeah.
I'm going to have to know who this is off camera.
I don't mind saying.
Oh, who was it?
Okay, so it's quite a famous Canadian comedian. But like I said, lovely guy.
Yeah.
I can't even remember how we started talking. I think he slid into my DMs.
Oh.
I think. This was years ago, by the way, because he's married now. It was literally a date or two. But I just found that we were sitting there having a drink and he kept constantly making jokes. And I was like, oh, I get it, you're funny.
Yeah,
but let's just have a normal conversation.
And I just never would now. I mean, I think my last 3 boyfriends were comedians. Just never again. And lovely blokes, don't get me wrong. But I just couldn't.
But you've booked, I mean, you've got tours coming up, which we will get onto. When's your next show?
My next show is actually on this Saturday. When I'm filming my last tour show. When I was on tour late last year. Showgirl, that was my other show. That's been filmed in Blackpool for the Glamour.
Lovely.
And that'll be put to bed, and then my new show is going on tour next year.
Oh, it's so exciting.
Yeah.
I did see. Just show related, do you dress yourself? Do you have a stylist? How do you kind of put your outfits together and shop for that?
I always, well, a lot of the things I wear, like I like to wear like a lot of jumpsuits and sequin jumpsuits and things like that. But I've learnt now the best thing to do is have them made.
Oh.
Yes, which sounds incredibly
bougie. Yeah, it does.
But it's actually in the long run cheaper. And
really?
Yeah, so there's a couple of girls
that's interesting
that work up in Glasgow. They're called Isolated Heroes, and they've got their own sort of business, and they make clothes and things like that, and they're amazing. So I just spoke to them and I said like, oh, can you make me this? So I vocalised what I wanted. They drew it and I went, oh my God, that's exactly what I wanted.
Wow.
And then they made it. But then what they do is they save the pattern. So so I just say, oh, I need a gold jumpsuit, and they just make it for me.
Because they've got all your measurements.
They've got all the measurements, and it honestly,
perfect.
You wouldn't think, as I say, it sounds
and it's more
quite
affordable.
Bougie. It's more affordable in the long run.
Okay.
It is more affordable, and because I'm not paying to have something taken in. Because I mean, I'm 5 foot, if that.
I was gonna say when I came over to give you a hug there, I was like, this is very petite.
I'm about that big, right? And it's really annoying because a lot of the things that I buy, I'm always having to have them altered, or I get something and I go, oh, the back's too baggy, all that kind of stuff. So I've had them altered, or make some changes to them. But yeah, it's so much better in the long run.
Just looking at you, I feel like I'm like ahead on. I'm gonna look like a giant.
Oh mate, it's funny because when people see pictures of you, or they see a clip of you, or they see something of you on TV, they assume that you're tall. I think because of your job, and then they meet you and they're like, oh, didn't expect this.
Pocket rocket.
Pocket rocket.
Pocket rocket. Right. This is the pocket rocket. So this is the joy of shopping. So tell me what your last purchase was.
My last purchase, actually very boring. Cleaning products.
No, I love.
Do you love?
Which ones for the kitchen, like furniture? Where are we going in the house?
Well, one product. There's one for the bathroom and there's one for the kitchen. It's Purdy and Fig, who make get it written down. It's one of these. I mean, I don't really know how it's. It seems to be 2 quite posh ladies who seem quite lovely. One's called Purdy and the other one's called
Fig. Actually 2 ladies.
2 ladies, yeah.
Okay.
And they've set up, and they're quite posh.
Yeah.
And they've set up, and it got advertised at me because the algorithm knows you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And
they listen.
They listen. They do.
It listens.
It listens.
Yes.
And sometimes I'm glad, and sometimes I'm not. But I'm obsessed with cleaning. I like things to look nice. Anyway, this got advertised at me a while ago, and it was actually the refills that I bought.
Okay.
So, because I'm very
nice and sustainable though, refills.
Yeah, I'm a bit into that. I like a refill. But it's it's chemical free. It smells amazing. You can use it on the counter clean, you can use it all around your house. The bathroom stuff is incredible, and it lasts for ages.
Is this just a one product by Purdy and Fig?
So it's counter clean and a bathroom cleaner.
Because I love a product that it's a multi-functional.
Yes, well the counter clean, I use it in the kitchen, I use it in the living room, I use it in the bedroom, not like that. And I mean, who knows, maybe you can. I'm not going to try. But it's just so good, and it just smells amazing. Like I've had people come into my flat and go, oh, what's that lovely smell? Like it smells like an upmarket hotel in here. I'm like, it's cleaning product. Yeah, it's cleaning product.
I'm definitely writing that down. I love to take notes and get tips.
And it's worth every penny. Absolutely worth every penny.
So it's super affordable as well.
I think so, because it lasts a long time, and you get the glass bottle with it. And then you just refill. It's I think in the long run. It
works out.
It works out, absolutely.
Okay. And are you more of an online shopper, or do you have to be right there, have the experience?
I think I'm more of a vintage shopper. So I'm obsessed with charity shops and vintage shops.
Oh, I've recently gotten into that.
Oh, mate.
Oh, I love it. They've really upped their game. I don't know who is dressing the mannequins on the window, but it gets me every time.
It's incredible, isn't it?
Yes.
So I love a charity shop. And because I go around the country, I travel so much for my job, I always find like really good charity shops in different places. But online shopping, it gets me every time. You know, it's advertising at me. That's when it gets me. Although I have started to get interested in kitchen items.
Oh,
such as,
talk to me about that.
Well, I've never had any interest in the kitchen, but I have started to look at things and go, it'd be nice to have a nice set of knives, wouldn't it? You know, that kind of thing. I'm like, oh, do you know what? I really like, there's a lot of cutlery here, but wouldn't it be nice to have a really nice matching set? Oh, and if we got these plates, I've started to sort of think like that. But all I've been thinking about recently is I think we need a really nice set of knives. I think that's what we need.
I think it's important for cooking.
Yes.
Chopping up the, veggies, meat.
Exactly. And if I've got the right tools, maybe I will embrace it a bit more.
You'll become a bit more of a chef than a sous chef.
Exactly.
So have you got your eye on a set of knives, or?
No, I mean, the thing is I just keep looking and going, oh, yeah, they're nice. I like it. But I think really my boyfriend is much more of a cook than I am. He's very good as well.
Okay.
And I think I'll leave that to him.
To him?
Yeah, because I know what'll happen. With things that I buy, I will end up buying a set of knives that has some novelty twist on it. It'll have like, a true crime set of knives with blood on the handle.
Yeah.
Or there'll be something stupid about it.
It won't just be a clean set from John Lewis.
No.
It's got to have some
stupid.
history.
Like, have you seen those ones that have like a man's shape, the shape of a man on the... I'm just like, you see what I mean? I see things.
This is great.
I can't ever just buy anything normal. And I know, sometimes when I'm buying things, I'm like, why are you buying this? Can't you just get the normal one?
No, I think that's what makes you you.
I know, but sometimes I do regret it. And I like my tea and coffee, my tea, because I drink loads of tea.
Love a brew.
Oh, I can't get enough of it. It's a skull. So, and my salt and peppers 2 skulls as well.
Very, in theme for Halloween coming up.
Well,
but this is an all year round.
This is just an all year round thing.
This is love.
And my boyfriend's mum is so nice, and she's got such great sort of style and interior design sort of. She'll like every season, like the house will be done for summer, or there'll be, we get into autumn, so there'll be a new sort of what do you call them, like a wreath in the house with it, and it just, and then she sort of comes to the flat and she's like, just looking at the more skulls, how lovely, like, and I just think. I know, and I just can't stop. Like,
I'm sure she's like, okay, there's a new addition, but that's
like,
Rachel.
Okay, yeah, exactly. But she did once buy me a mug with a skull on it, so I was like,
oh, so she's absolutely.
Yeah, she's like, well, I don't like it, but I thought you would. I'm like, yes, thank you.
Accustomed to your style.
But her style is really incredible.
Yeah.
The way she does the house up for Christmas, and she does like flower arranging and stuff like that.
Oh, lovely.
And it just the house looks so beautiful. So I could do with sort of learning a bit off her.
Well, she's close. She's, she's in the family. Yeah. You can always get tips.
Yeah, I could do.
So in terms of shopping, what's your favourite thing to shop for? Is it clothing? Is it jewellery? Food?
Oh, God. It's got to be clothes.
Yeah?
It has to be clothes. I've got so many clothes, and I do regularly take loads to the charity shop. And then, coats is my thing. So I must have about 50 coats.
I feel like you get a lot of wear out of your coats.
You do.
Especially here in the UK.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I love a coat that's a bit different. So if you know how you sort of look at success in your career, I look at it through coats that I've bought. So that, to me, that's like, oh, this is a milestone. Buy yourself a new coat. So
my God, yes. Yeah. Treat yourself.
Buy something.
All the time,
So when I got live at the Apollo, which was a huge thing, I couldn't believe that I was doing it, and I was so excited. It was like a genuine dream come true. I was like, right, I've got to buy a new coat.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be wearing it on the show.
Not waiting for my birthday.
Yeah, get myself a new coat. And I treated myself to a lovely sort of vintage reworked leather jacket kind of thing. And I was like, yeah, this is amazing. But I think, but also, I never really go out to shop for anything. Do you
but
know
you
what I
end
mean?
up coming back with
I end up
a
coming
load
back
of
with something.
stuff.
Yeah, I'll just sort of go out and I will never go to the shop and go, right, today we're going here to look for this thing. I'm like, well, let's just pop in here and see what
I'm
happens.
exactly the same.
Just have a little look.
Yeah. I mean, what woman needs anything more, especially when it comes to clothing, right?
Exactly, exactly. And I've got, you know, shoes and clothes. I just like the sort of feeling of, oh, look what I found.
Yes, I found this.
You'll never guess what I've bought. And usually everyone's like, oh God, what now? But that's how I never really go out and go,
I need to get that.
we have to buy this today.
Okay.
Or if there's something that I need, for example, maybe the set of knives, it'll be on my mind, and until I see the right set, it will just stay. I wouldn't go out purposefully looking.
Have you seen the knives on QVC?
I haven't.
Do you
Are they
shop
good?
on QVC?
Well, interestingly, I've never bought anything off it, but
Okay.
I do watch.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll have it on in the background, and I will sort of go, oh, that's good, isn't it? That's a good deal. Or
Let's dial it up.
let's get on that phone. But there is because I come back from gigs quite late, quite often.
Yeah, we're 24 hour,
I
aren't
will
we?
put it on,
Yeah.
see what's happening,
Yeah.
what you're flogging, let's have a look.
Good stuff.
But I've never bought anything off it, but that's not to say that I haven't watched it and gone, that's a good offer.
Yeah.
My mum has bought stuff off QVC.
Yeah.
And my auntie has as well. But yeah, I'm not averse to it. I think it would be.
We're going to convert you.
Convert me, yeah.
2024.
I'd be happy.
First purchase.
Yeah.
What do you think it's going to be?
It's got to be the knives, hasn't it? It's got to be the knives.
I think so.
What time's
We'll have a look after this.
What time's the kitchen show on?
You know, yeah, what time? We do have them.
Yeah,
going.
see, there you
Got
go.
a bit of everything.
Because the thing is as well, I got obsessed when I was a kid with an infomercial. And it was like this, it used to be on like, I think it was like Channel 4 or something, and it was this machine that just cut and diced loads of stuff. So it'd be this,
Sold.
It was
I
on in the
bought
afternoon.
well, I recently bought the chopper, the thing where you have to chop the onion in half, you pop it in the contraption, and then you kind of slam it down, and it's all chopped
It's
for
all
you.
done.
So you haven't shopped yet on QVC.
No.
Do you think there's a misconception shopping on QVC?
Yeah, and I don't have it because I think a lot of people see QVC as not trashy. Like they see, you know what I mean? They see it as
Excuse me.
They see it as like sort of a thing from the past, if that makes sense. So like
We've been going for a long time. We've been going strong.
I know,
Yeah.
that's it. And so I think people see it as something that's a bit sort of 80s, 90s.
Bit old school.
Bit old school.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily think that. I mean, but also it's like there's things that you would get on QVC that you're not going to get anywhere else. Like, where else can you sit, really? What I think is like, if you wanted to get a load of stuff for Christmas, for example.
Yeah.
What time is it? Oh, right. There's an entire show.
Yeah.
With Christmas
It's
stuff.
already Christmas here.
So, I've heard.
Yes.
I've heard. It's Christmas from July, I've
Yep.
heard. So it's there, isn't it? So this is the perfect place, really, if you are like, oh, I want a set of knives. I don't really want to go around a load of shops and
I want to see it. I want to see it in action.
see
I'm
it in
gonna pop
action.
QVC on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I have no. I think people can be quite snooty and snobby about it, and I don't know why. But no, I'm certainly not averse to it. And like I say, I've sat there and gone, oh, that's a good deal. That's all right. Oh yeah, that's pretty good, that, innit? Like jewellery and stuff. I'm like, now that is pretty good.
So I did the same thing. I used to watch QVC with my mum on the bed. She used to shop, and then it kind of left in my 20s.
Yeah.
And then I think after COVID, everyone just went into online shopping. Shopping, off the telly. It just became a part of our lives. So for me, it was like, oh wow, QVC's doing that.
Yeah.
And you kind of refresh yourself, and you're like, oh, it's not just clothes. They do
Yeah.
home, they do garden, and you're just like,
all
okay.
All kinds of things.
Yeah.
One thing that does impress me, presenters
Yes.
keeping talking.
Yes.
I am always amazed at the information,
Yes.
the keeping the chat, keeping it going. Personally, I'd love to be a presenter on QVC.
Here
Put
we
me
go.
on it, mate.
Honestly,
I would love it.
Would you audition for it?
Absolutely.
Oh my God, let's get this sorted.
Absolutely.
What would you
I'd
like
love
to
it.
present? Homeware, clothing, garden, jewellery?
See, things that I would not, that I would, jewellery, I think,
Yeah.
my thing.
Can we have a little go with your necklace?
Yeah, well,
Look right into the camera.
I mean, it's not for everyone.
Look, you can't start it off like that.
We've got what we've got here is a leopard, which I think has been recently hunted and killed. And it's hanging on a gold chain, and on the back is it's dual use, so you can have it as a pendant, or if you're feeling like your jacket needs a bit of an edge, a little bit of sparkle, you can use it as a brooch, and you can pop it on your jacket.
Oh,
there.
I like that.
How was that?
I mean, I'd give you the job. I'd have a proper laugh with you. That is wicked.
No, I think it's like, it's entertaining as well. That's what I think. And also, live, really funny things happen.
Yes, it does. Honestly, when I'm on there, I'm always like, right, I've definitely had a show with this product on there. I need to do something a bit different. So I like to bring a bit of history.
Nice.
To, if the jumpsuit, I'd say when it first came out in Vogue.
Ooh.
Or, I'll try and tell a funny story of my own.
Great.
I think they take to it.
Yeah.
Be different.
Love it.
Okay, so on tour.
Yes.
What do you need to shop for? What are the sort of tips that you think, right, I'm going on tour, where's my list? Superdrug, Boots, what department store, what shops are you shopping at? What do you need?
Here's what I've learned, right. You'll be away for sometimes 10 days, living out of a suitcase. The best thing you can do is have your stage costume, which you've got, that's sorted, that's covered. And you've got a nice, put it in a zip-up suit bag. Please, I can't bear now seeing people throw really nice clothes into a suitcase and it's not got I'm like, please put a bag on that.
You've got those bags and suitcases where you can actually, there's like a rail in the back. Yeah.
This could be game changing.
Right.
I'm going to have a look.
Less creasing.
What I will say is that I have learnt is I always buy myself 2 comfortable sort of tracksuits, lounge suits for the travelling around because I don't drive. I can drive, but I've not driven since I passed my test 14 years ago. So that's another thing that we must sort out at some point. Do you sell cars on here? I
actually had to think about that. We sell so much. I was like, do we? I literally went like that.
I have to so I'll buy like a nice Adidas tracksuit. Also, I have to wear the same makeup trainers with whatever tracksuit I'm wearing. I would never wear Adidas.
Makeup trainers?
Oh, makeup trainers.
Oh, so you have to be
That's
all...
Get that on
I know. All in one brand.
I have to wear Adidas with Adidas.
Really? That's
my goodness.
interesting.
I would never put a Nike tracksuit on and then put Adidas trainers
I'm
on.
all over the gaff.
Oh, no.
I'll have about 5 brands on me.
Even socks. I couldn't put Adidas socks on with... No, I just...
Have you always been like that?
Yes, I have, but more so that I've got... Because, listen, I do have OCD, I do have obsessive compulsive disorder, and I do think it's part of that. But also, and I've said this before, I'm sure this is a working class thing, your trainers have to be clean. Your things have got to use what you want to be well presented, make yourself look clean, tidy and presentable.
Yes.
So I always buy myself like a nice tracksuit, and which sounds like, is it an oxymoron, a nice tracksuit?
It has to be comfy.
There are nice tracksuits out there, we will say. Has to be comfortable, has to be nice. I bought an Adidas leopard print one.
No.
About a year ago.
I'm slightly offended.
Why?
But I'm sure you can rock it.
It's incredible. It's so good. I get so, but I bought one tracksuit and then
full on leopard
Adidas. It's incredible.
What trainers?
Adidas, just Stan Smith's plain Adidas.
Okay.
Got one and I was like, do you know what? I'm going to buy another one of these. So I bought one exactly the same because I do this quite often. If there's something that I know that I'm going to wear a lot and it's comfortable and I'm like, this is great, I buy 2.
Standard.
Buy 2.
Yeah.
So get yourself a nice, comfortable tracksuit or lounge, whatever you need. Nice pair of pyjamas. You've sorted that. So you're going to wear the tracksuit.
Yep.
and you're sorted for a couple of days. You know, you're fine. Toiletries are the bane of my life. Now I buy
the travel-sized
travel
bottles,
or I get the ones that you pour,
the miniatures.
That you pour the
okay.
what they call the travel sets, where you get your cream in one. So I do that because the amount of times that I'm away, and then if you start using a new shampoo, you're like, why am I using this shampoo? It's terrible, and you know, it's not doing anything for my hair. So, and just all it is now, it's about packing. Don't take everything with you. This is the mistake that I used to make. I would take so much stuff with me on the road, and I would just never wear half of it. Take as little as possible.
Really?
As little as possible.
Well, I guess you're not going to anywhere where there's not a shop that you can pop to.
Exactly.
You know, most things are next day delivery as well.
That she knows.
I know.
She knows.
Yep.
Exactly.
Okay,
exactly.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Right. Weirdest, strangest purchase. Take your time.
See, this... Really what we need is someone else to answer this for me, because I do buy some weird stuff. I love anything that's a bit odd. So my charity shopping, I will go to a charity shop and I'll come back with, I mean, here's an example. I love anything that's a bit vintage, a bit old, and a bit, something that nobody else will want. That's how I feel. So I was gigging in Newcastle earlier this year, and I went into a charity shop in Whitley Bay, a tiny place near the seaside. And I went in, and there was a porcelain dog that was about like this big.
Yeah.
And it was £8. And I was like, I need that. Because it's really weird looking. It's like, people think it's creepy, but I absolutely love him. I was like, I've got to buy it. And I bought it, and then I was like, well, what am I going to do with this porcelain dog? It's massive, and now I've got
be your welcome kind. You know, we have the welcome mat coming into your house.
Oh my God, you see that?
And pop the dog there.
You need two either side. I need
guard
to find another.
dogs.
Oh, I need two.
Yeah.
But I brought it. What I had to do then was I had to go to the post office and post it to my house, because I was gigging away for 3 days.
Right.
And I thought, well, I can't carry him around with me because I'll look mad, but also I don't want to break him. So I sort of bought some bubble wrap and I boxed it up and I sent it to my house.
I love the TLC.
Yeah.
I love it.
So, but I buy a lot of, sort of my boyfriend will be, you know, if we'll go to like a flea market or whatever, he will not walk around with me. He'll walk ahead of me. And then when we reconvene afterwards, he looks at what I've bought and he goes, yeah, I saw that and I knew that I'd be coming back with us. Yeah, I was hoping you wouldn't have seen that. Yeah, okay, right.
But he's accepting.
Yeah. I think he
which
secretly likes some of the stuff, but there's some stuff that is just like, please can we not put that in the living room?
Well, I was just going to say, have you ever brought something home and he's like, absolutely not?
Yeah, I have. I love taxidermy as well.
Talk to me, what's this?
Well, you know, like an animal, you stuff an animal, like a stuffed animal, like you'd see in a museum.
Is that called a taxidermy?
Taxidermy.
Honestly, every week I learn new words. I learn so many things. This is like school for me. This is great. You would have thought I was a dropout or something, but I went all the way to uni. I really did. Taxidermy is a stuffed animal.
Well, you wouldn't know. You might not like it, and it's fine. It's not for everybody, you know. But you know, I love sort of vintage stuffed animals. Things. I've got like a stoat. I've got a magpie. I've got things like that. And he's not really that keen on it. But the one thing that I did bring home that he is just like, because we're sort of trying to declutter at the moment, which we're not very cluttered.
Okay.
But I think when I say declutter, what he means is get rid of that and put it in the loft. Now when I'm describing it, it sounds quite weird. So you know Mr. Punch and Judy?
Yes.
So it's a face of Mr. Punch.
Oh God.
It's quite
I'm
creepy.
waiting for the body.
Yeah. Well, there's no body. It's just his face, and it's like it's for the what you have hung it on the what? It's like a wall hanging.
You've just got a headless.
It's just his head, yeah. And it's strange, and I found it on Vinted, which again I've had to stop going on because I just found too much. It was like a $5, yeah. And it's just behind the TV, so when he's trying to watch TV, it's just there.
Stop.
He hates it. It's just like that. He went, look.
So wait, you've just for my visual, you've got the telly.
Yeah, the
and
telly.
He's popping up.
And he's just there behind the
lovely.
TV. Yeah. And
That's nice.
he hates it. I think that when I'm away gigging, I think he does
Puts
take
them away,
it. He puts them
absolutely.
away,
I
so
would
I'm
do
not-
the same thing.
I'm not living with that in the house. He hates it
Do you
so
not
much.
sit there watching your telly, think that he's just going to move slightly to
Oh,
the
no,
right?
he's
It's
all
coming up
right.
to Halloween.
Yeah, well, that's
You
the
know?
other thing. Love
What
Halloween
if he tipples
stuff.
over?
He might do, but I think, he's being judged on his appearance, Mr. Punch. I think he's misunderstood, and I think he's actually all right. I love Halloween though as well.
Do you?
Love
I mean, do you know
Halloween
what? Not to just going on this conversation.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything creepy, anything weird.
Yeah?
Absolutely love it.
Are you dressing
Love
up?
it. Yes. Well,
Okay.
because
Please,
I do
please.
podcasts.
Are you doing a couple's dress up?
Oh God, no. Tim, my boyfriend, will not get involved in
Okay.
it. Because I did say to him, oh, actually on Halloween,
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing, my two friends have a podcast called Ghost Hunts. So they're
Okay.
in Supernatural, so they're actually doing a live show on Halloween, and I'm going along
Crap my
as
pants.
a special guest. So I said to him, Tim, my boyfriend, I said, would you
Mm-hmm.
like to come to Ghost Hunts on Halloween? He went, oh, I might do actually. I thought, oh, well, this is progress. And then I said, are you going to dress up? And he went, no, Rachel, I am not dressing
Draw the
up.
line there.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want to dress. I was like, all right, well, don't get dressed up. But I've got two costumes. So one of them is going to be a haunted bride. So
Okay.
like a sort of a, got an old sort of wedding dress
Yes.
thing, and put a bit of blood.
When
crying
you
blood.
say haunted, for some reason, I feel like, do you remember Friends when Phoebe had those frames, those scary looking dolls coming out of the frames? For some reason, I
Oh,
visioned that you have a frame behind you.
oh no,
No?
and that's quite. Do you know that's quite a good idea?
Stick
for
a frame
costume, that
behind
is
you.
coming out of a
Yeah, you're
painting.
coming out.
That's
Because you
quite
said
good.
haunted, so maybe it could be like a haunted house.
That's a very good idea. That.
You're welcome.
Oh, that's good. That innit?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I
Right,
like
so that's
that.
one.
That's one.
What's the other
The other
one?
one I haven't decided yet. I
Okay.
did go as Edward Scissorhands last year, which I think was probably the best Halloween costume I've ever.
Do you have pictures on
done.
your Instagram of that?
Yes, it's on my
Oh, I'm going to
Instagram.
have a look.
And I did the makeup myself, and I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
I was very proud of myself.
Do you know what? I feel like Halloween makeup is where you don't need a makeup artist. You can just go
No,
crazy
it-
because it's supposed to look not that great
It's supposed
anyway.
to look a bit
Put together, but
Yeah.
not, you're not blending your eyeshadow
a
and
bit rustic, a bit
Yeah.
homemade. Yeah, I love it. Love it.
you're getting the blood out.
Yeah,
Yep.
a bit of the fake blood,
Yep.
everything like that. Can't wait. So the second costume I'm not decided on yet, but
How are you going to decide?
I don't know.
I
I'm
feel
just
like
sort of-
with my input now with the
Yeah.
frame,
Do you think we should
I think we should go for the haunted bride.
haunted bride coming out of the picture?
Yes. And I feel like you've already got a frame like that
We've got it. Yeah.
at home.
There'll be something.
There'll be
Something in the loft.
put it in like a rucksack or something.
Thank you.
I know. I
She's
mean,
very good. Very
it's
good.
growing up watching Art Attack.
Oh yes, of course, of course, of course.
Okay, so I'm very intrigued. You are a comedian. You do a lot of shows. You're
Yeah.
going on tour. What's the oddest gift you've received from a
Ooh.
fan?
This is interesting. Now, because I do a podcast, which is a true crime podcast, and do it with.
I love true crime.
Oh, listen, it's huge, isn't it?
You know that meme where they say your girlfriends go home and relax to a true crime documentary? That's me. Is that you as well?
It's me. It's me
Yeah.
as well. But I do it with Kira Pritchard McLean, who's my friend and also a stand-up comedian. And the people who listen to it are amazing. It's mainly women, and they're all amazing. And they do love to give you a present. And do you know what? We've had loads of brilliant gifts. We've had people have done embroidery
Oh, lovely.
of like things that
It's
we've
like
said on
handmade.
the podcast. And, yeah, and it's all really good and it's so nice. And I've got loads of it in the house, displayed on the bookcase and stuff like that. Now this is going to sound really weird. Somebody made us a doll of each of us, which
I
sounds
feel like dolls and your stuffed animals are going to be haunting me after this podcast.
which
honestly.
sounds insane, but it was like a felted. I don't know how what kind of crafting that is, but it was incredible, and it really looked like both of us, and it just spun me out. But strange things that luckily I haven't had anything that strange.
Nothing that you've kind of opened and been like, what is this?
There was once that I was doing a gig in, I don't know, I think it was Leicester. And I got to the venue and they said, oh, somebody's posted something here for you. And I was like, oh, right, okay. And I'm a big Oasis fan, right? So, and this was about 4 or 5 years ago. And I just opened it, it was just a picture of Liam Gallagher that had been cut out of the newspaper. So I was a bit like, all right, that's...
A for effort.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's
That's
odd,
all right.
quite sweet at the same time. And I've still got it somewhere.
So you're an Oasis fan?
Huge fan.
Did you manage to get tickets?
I did get tickets. And
Tell me how.
Well, listen, I've been to Oasis about 19 times.
Okay.
And obviously they've got back together, which I'll be honest, I didn't really want, but it's happening.
Why?
Oh, because do you know what it is? I just know what it's going to be like. It's going to be really great, but then loads of people are going to really annoy me at the gigs, and it's just one of, do you know what I mean? It's
you
one
need
of
a
those
box.
Things. Yeah, I just,
box.
oh God. But the tickets, so they did a ballot, of course. You could email in to see if you got the ballot. I got the ballot, which felt like winning the lottery.
Yeah.
And it was so easy. I'm sorry to all the people that didn't get
For
tickets.
everyone that
but
struggled.
The Thursday, I logged on at 6 p.m, and I just went, okay, where do I want to go and see him? I want to see him in Cardiff because that's the first gig back. Okay, brilliant. Well, oh, great, got to see Oasis.
Right,
done.
see you then.
And honestly, because there was all like the hoo-ha the days after
there was
about
so much.
the pricing and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, people didn't get tickets and all that kind of... And I'll be honest with you, it's the first time in my life I've ever felt like a Tory. Because I just was like, I'm all right. I'm not bothered that you didn't get tickets.
Yeah.
Honestly, people going, oh, I was like, I really don't care. I've got my ticket.
Just logged on.
Also, no disrespect to Tories, you're allowed your political views, but it's the first time that I actually felt like
a Tory.
Yeah, loved it.
Loved that.
Loved it.
Rachel, what's next?
What's next?
What's next?
Gigging.
Yeah.
Going on tour in February next year.
Okay.
With my show Side Eye, that was on at the Edinburgh Fringe this year. That'll be happening. And then that's it, really.
Yeah.
Maybe trying a bit of QVC, actually.
Honestly, we've got your audition.
Yeah, get me
right
on it.
here. We'll send it to the relevant people.
I've got, after chatting to you now, though, I've got like a bit of a hunger for a bit of shopping.
Yeah?
Yeah.
After this?
After this,
Where are you going?
I don't know.
QVC?
Yeah, a bit of the old QVC.
You've got to break it.
I think I'm going to
I'm so intrigued to what your first purchase is going to be here.
It's going to be knives, isn't it? It's going to be knives. It's
I want to see it. I want to see it on your socials.
Hopefully when this goes out, I'll be able to...
yes.
You'll be able to tell them that I bought something.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Rachel, thank you so much for joining me here. And good luck with your next venture.
Thank you very much.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to the Joy of Shopping podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, and if you missed any of the episodes, make sure you check out our playlist.